this was way better than The Whale. I like a filmmaker who's willing to challenge themselves, and Darren Aronofsky is a filmmaker who has switched styles but is able to maintain his signature style throughout his filmography. He started with Pi and Requiem for a Dream, which were like both these really trippy, like crazy, uncomfortable films that got extremely dark. Then he made The Wrestler, which was a movie that was kind of done on a pseudo-documentary sort of the way about like a guy whose career is completely fallen apart, and you'd think like if you watch the trailers, oh, things will work out for him, he's going to get his life back together, and no, that's not the case. And then of course The Whale was like it was literally a stage drama put on screen. And I mean, for me, it didn't work that well. But this one does work very well. Caught Stealing is a story about a guy named Hank Thompson, played wonderfully by Austin Butler. He's this guy who peaked in high school basketball, but has been a screw-up throughout his life, and now he's an alcoholic running a bar. If there's one thing I have to complain about, is that every movie starting an alcoholic, they're all thin. And as a guy who has known a lot of drunks, alcohol does not make you thin. It makes you fat. Unless you're one of those drunks that drinks hard liquor and eats nothing. But Butler's character is always pounding beer and passing out. And we never see him work out, yet he has like the physique of an athlete. But outside of that, the story does a great job with this ensemble cast. You won't even recognize most of the actors. Matt Smith plays his neighbor, who's like this grow up drug addict kind of guy, and he gives them this task to take care of his cat. And of course the cat leads Hank towards a world of hell. Turns out, in a very clever scene, the MacGuffin of the story is placed in the litter box, and it's in this fake poo, and it leads to this key that opens up this door to a safe that leads to $4 million. And of course, when that comes up, you have crooked cops coming after him, you have the Russian mafia coming after Hank, and you have tough Hebrews coming after him. I don't know what it is with Aronofsky's filmography, but something happened with the Jewish community that traumatized him. Because this movie is very similar to Pi, more than most of his other films. It's about this guy who lives in a rundown apartment in New York City, and that kind of harkens back to Aronofsky's own childhood, where he grew up in the Bronx. And there were like these guys in Pi who were like these badass Hebrews who kind of like capture him and force him to do something. And you had the same exact case here, where both Hebrews, I think they were played by Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio. They were so covered in makeup you can't even recognize them. Even Griffin Dunn, who, I mean, I'll admit, I haven't seen him since After Hours, so he probably looks totally different now. He had like long hair and like a beard, and he's like dressed up and all this, like he's like a biker kind of guy, and like like you don't recognize these guys, but it's not like SNL type makeup. It's actually pretty well done, and the movie's pace is really consistent. Like, it has the same exact plot of like every other thriller, but it uses Aronofsky's signature style, where he shoots the movie on film and it's real gritty, and you can tell maybe it's digital, but it looked like film to me. And he kind of has his cynical outlook on life, which is usually about like the savagery of man, and he incorporates them all into this thriller that has a very basic story, but its mise-en-scène really helps it excel. So yeah, I would suggest it. It was a lot of fun. I gave the movie 3.5 out of 4 Guinnesses on my full written review, which you can find at ypareviews.com. So yeah, Caught Stealing. It's a lot of money for a ticket, but hey, if you can make it to the theater and you're looking for a night out and you're willing to shelf out $20 for a ticket, plus God only knows how much for parking, plus, if you get concessions, that's what, like a $40, $50 bill. But hey, give it a shot. You might like it. All right. Bye-bye.